From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
You want to go where to buy a new refrigerator? Steve's A to Z Appliance in Cottonwood? In Cottonwood? Just a 10-minute drive. And they'll save us money. New and used, honest, reliable, factory-trained repair service and parts, and they'll save us money. And dispose of this thing? We gotta make the short drive to Steve's A to Z. Thanks, hon.
Steve's A to Z Appliance, front and main streets in Cottonwood. Drive a little, save a lot.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Meteorologist Mike Krueger, and I am recording here from my remote studio here in South Lake Tahoe. My son is in the state championships for snowboarding, and I am here in South Lake Tahoe. But I can still give you the forecast. I know what's going on out there. We've got the cool and unsettled weather this week with off and on chances for showers and even some mountain snow. But I got to tell you what, it's going to be few and far between. It's not looking very widespread, at least through the middle of the week. Looks like maybe some better chances coming in on Thursday. Now, next weekend, this upcoming weekend, is looking fairly dry and mild, but the long range is actually hinting at some cool and wetter weather that we're going to be looking at here. All right, let's get you right into your Krueger's Quickcast for your Monday, March 3rd. And as you're heading out the door this morning, I mean, it's going to be a little chilly, especially in the higher elevations, but overall not that bad. There may be some drizzle, some sprinkles for parts of the North Coast. That looks a little bit more ominous than it actually is for the coast, but that's essentially what we've got here this morning, dry conditions. Now, those clouds off in the center of your screen there also look pretty ominous, but we've got high pressure in place, and that's going to kind of break away at that storm system as it approaches, but we still have chances for off and on showers here over the next several days. Now, today, we're going to start off with mainly sunny skies for the valley, but everywhere else, partly to mostly cloudy skies in the mountains, and eventually those clouds will move in by this afternoon for the valley, but notice it's still dry through the day today. Now, if you're heading out to the ski park, they're at 96 inches out at the summit depth, and over the last 24 hours or so did see about 6 inches of fresh snow, which means new snow over the groomed paths, so it looks pretty good out there. How much snow can we expect here through at least Wednesday? Well, not much more on top of what we've already seen here, but certainly a lot of snow there out at the summit out there at Mount Shasta Ski Park. So here's what it looks like for your Monday. Temperature is kind of hovering around that 60-degree mark in the valley. I'm expecting 40s and 50s for the higher elevations and probably low 50s for you along the coast. Tonight, fairly mild for the valley, looking at the low to mid 40s, 20s and 30s as we typically see here in the higher elevations, and looks like in the low 40s tonight for the coast. Looking at your 7-day outlook for the valley, now I've got those showers in there. Now keep in mind, really what we're looking at here through really the next couple of days, especially Tuesday, Wednesday, is few and far between. We're also looking at the potential for isolated thunderstorms on Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening, which we'll get into a little bit later. Better chances for some of those showers on Thursday, and then looks like we'll dry things out for Friday and through the weekend. Now, snow levels on average as these systems pass through will generally be around 4,000 feet, give or take, just depending on where you are. And there you can see Siskiyou, Modoc County, and the Eastern Mountains. We're, of course, looking at those snow levels, again, hovering around that 4,000-foot mark, give or take, a little bit lower by the time we do get into your Thursday, drying out by Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So that's a look at Krueger's Quickcast. You want to remind you there's a free Weather NorCal app. It's really easy to download, folks. All you do is go to your app store, search for Weather NorCal, and it's hyperlocal. It's all about Northern California, and even though, yes, I'm not in Northern California right now, it's all about, keeping it local to Northern California. Now, it will travel with you. Like, for example, I'm in South Lake Tahoe. It's telling you the current temperature and the forecast for Tahoe, but I didn't necessarily generate that forecast. But what I did generate the forecast for is Northern California for our area. All right, so again, let's take a look at the satellite image here, and again, you're noticing those clouds off to the west. There's a lot of activity over the Pacific, and that is going to impact us in some shape or form. It's just not going to be a ton of rainfall. So let's take a look at Futurecast over the next couple of days. So as we saw today, it will be dry for the rest of the afternoon. Now, by tonight and tomorrow morning, we're going to see a couple of passing showers trying to pass through, but you can see the main band kind of comes in around 5 a.m. on Tuesday. Very weak. Most of it will be along the coast, but you can see northern Trinity, western Siskiyou Tuesday morning seeing some of that. Now, the latest models are really backing off on any potential for showers through the day on Tuesday for the rest of us. However, again, don't be surprised if you run into a passing sprinkle or even a light shower, especially in many of the higher elevations. But you can see it's just not very widespread. It's not very impressive at all. Now, as we go into Wednesday, there you can see it looks like a little bit of wraparound moisture on the east side there, out towards Modoc County in the eastern mountains. We go to midday on Wednesday. We're beginning to see some afternoon showers develop. And the thing is, especially in the valley, we could see a stray thunderstorm popping up here in the afternoon. These are what we could call convective thunderstorms, where if you get enough daytime heating through the day, you could see those thunderstorms popping up. So I've got the showers in there for Wednesday, but it'll be later in the afternoon and evening. And it looks like, again, that potential for some of those thunderstorms here. And then, of course, once that moves out, we've got more rain coming in on your Thursday. But through Wednesday, you can see it just depends on who sees those showers and thunderstorms. But overall, you look at the amount of rainfall, mainly less than 1/10 of an inch of rainfall. Most of what we'll see here will be along the coast, and even that's not all that impressive. So through Thursday, you can see about 1/4 of an inch here, the darker green along the coast. You're talking about a few hundredths to not even quite a 1/4 of an inch here through Friday even, which is really mainly through Thursday for the valley. But we do expect to maybe see more precipitation, which is a little more unusual. That's usually not the footprint we see for the amount of rainfall, but we could see upwards of 1/2 an inch to even close to 3/4 of an inch for some areas here through this week, especially to the east of the valley. Certainly would be a welcome sight. How much snow? Well, take a look at this. It's not very impressive. That's good for your travel plans, but we still may run into a few travel delays over the next couple of days. All right, so let's take a look at the longer range forecast. And you can see again, as I was mentioning on Thursday, we got another round of some showers, even some snow in the higher elevations through Thursday. Then on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it does look like we've got high pressure building in. That's going to give us mainly clear skies here and not to mention dry conditions, and that will continue through Sunday. But you can see as we go into Sunday night into Monday, that approaching storm system moves on through. I do anticipate this one to be a little bit colder. This could bring some lower snow levels on Monday, but bottom line looks to be wetter as we take you into early next week. Now, take a look at this. A lot of you have been saying you're hoping for a miracle March. Well, I don't know if I necessarily call it a miracle, but I am seeing, and the Climate Prediction Center is seeing, the potential for wetter than normal conditions. You see the darker shade of green? That's a very good chance of seeing above normal rainfall based on the latest forecast model data. Now, can we take this to the bank? Absolutely not. We still need to be vigilant of the fact that, forecast models can sometime, especially when you're looking that far out, it's not always going to be the most accurate. However, looking pretty confident. We're seeing some good agreement and alignment with the long-range forecast models, making that forecast confidence a little bit higher as we do go into the longer range. So yes, fingers crossed, we do get to see some decent rainfall for March. Taking a look at the lake levels, actually Shasta Lake getting closer to that 80% for capacity. It's been rising slowly, so this is good. We're good to see that we're still, all of the lakes over the last 24 hours have seen a slight increase. All right, so let's take a look at the temperature outlook. Now, this also helps to support the chance for some wet weather because we look at that overall trend. You think about last week, right, where we broke records. It was in the 80s for the valley. Back to reality, temperature-wise, right? We're below normal through most of this week. By the end of the week and into the weekend, maybe slightly above normal, and then we drop back down below normal again. So it is getting on the cool side here for the month of March. Now, as far as the wave heights are concerned, they are dropping today. That certainly is some good news. But as we go through the day on Tuesday, they may start to increase. So looking at your marine forecast, there is a small craft advisory this morning. Should be allowed to expire by around midday today. But there you can see those winds out of the northwest at about 10 to 15 knots. So here's your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. Your temperatures are going to be in the low 50s for your daytime highs. Bottom line, any rain we see through Wednesday is not going to be a lot, and I do expect more rain coming in on Thursday before we finally kind of wrap up the week with drier conditions and into the weekend. Taking a look at your North Coast neighborhood forecast, also off and on chances for showers through Wednesday. Looks like more rain possibly as we go into your Thursday. before we dry things out for Friday and through the weekend. Your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast, looking at snow levels on average around 4,000 feet, give or take. Again, keep in mind, it's not going to be a lot of rain or snow for that matter, and that's also the case for Modoc County. 41 degrees for a high today in Fort Bidwell, 42 for Alturas, 41 for California Pines. Let's take you off into the eastern mountains where temperatures there will be in the 40s and 50s for your daytime highs, about 52 degrees in Paradise and 49 degrees in Janesville. Let's take you to the South Valley neighborhood forecast. It is brought to you by Walgamith Painting. Your temperature is around 60 degrees, upper 50s to around 60. Temperature is dropping a little bit here. Again, don't look at that and go, look at all that rain for Tuesday, Wednesday, even Thursday. It's not going to be a lot of rainfall. And then, of course, by Friday through the weekend, we dry things out. And, what's that? We set those clocks forward an hour. Yes, we spring forward on Sunday. It is that time of the year again, folks. Take you up to the north end of the valley, 60 degrees for Redding, 59 degrees for Red Bluff, and 59 degrees in Palisadro. And looking at your 7-day outlook for Redding, there you can see, of course, the chance for showers mid to late afternoon, maybe even an isolated thunderstorm. More showers on Thursday, drying out for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Well, that is a look at your forecast, of course, for really all of Northern California here. I'm going to be back again at noon with the latest forecast, so be sure to check in with that for the latest forecast. And, of course, I'll be back again after that at 6 p.m. Have yourselves a great morning.
At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones, too. Because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.